Hey there, Art 2 students. Welcome. This is our first day of class, and I wanted to share a couple things for students who may be working remotely, but also as a pretty good reference guide for students who are here in the classroom. So folks who've had me in the past know that I usually have some kind of agenda up on the board, and we do meet during IJ block. Today I'll be going over a few housekeeping things, looking at class pages, checking out the syllabus, which you guys at home can absolutely do. We'll give some materials out, not too much to start with, but there'll be a few things to get you started. And if you are working remotely, you can actually pick up your materials today, anytime before 3, right in the vestibule. And we actually won't be doing this, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then we're going to start our first project. And usually in Art 1, what I do is I do some kind of review of the elements of art and principles of design. Usually it's a much bigger project, but we only have a quarter together. So I've reformulated this project, and I think it's going to work out really well. So for folks who are working remotely, I have pre-selected for you a principle of design for you to focus this project on. But for students in class, what we're going to do, and I apologize for folks at home who couldn't participate in this, but I have a whole bunch of little papers, and everyone is going to select one and see which element or principle they might get. Let me show you my visualizer here. So a little piece of paper like this, don't know what's inside, even though I wrote it, but everybody gets to pick one. So here's what you're going to do. For mine, I did Unity. And so everybody is going to get this book, which is a fabulous reference guide for the elements and principles. And I did one on Unity. So what we're going to do is you're going to get a piece of paper. It looks like this. It's going to be a really big trading card. And one side is going to tell you a little bit about your element or your principle, and the other side is going to show it. So think of this becoming a teaching tool. You're a guest in my 7th or 8th grade class, and you're instructing them about the elements and the principles and why they're important. So this is really a teaching tool. Okay, so the first thing I did was I did a little research, and I created the back of my card. I used really nice craftsmanship. I had some cool paper that I had printed out for another student, and they didn't need it. And then I layered it with my little information guide to tell someone, what is Unity? Well, Unity is an extremely important part of art, and for it to be successful, it helps actually glue all the visual elements together, okay? And it provides that quality of cohesion to really make a piece of artwork feel like it is complete. In this case, Vincent van Gogh's piece, he not only used a darker color palette in contrast to these lighter places to really highlight the stars and the moon, his strokes of how he used the paint, that repetition, and some of the way he did some of these lines that kind of curl and swerve and repeat. All of that helps create unity. So some examples here, I gave some examples because I thought that that might be important. Having variety, arranging the elements of art, how maybe the surface was treated with the materials, the repetition of an element, any qualities of or materials that are used, which certainly we can see here. And if all of this feels right, then you have unity. Woohoo! So as a teaching tool for the other side, here is what I did. So all of this started just like this black piece of paper. So what I did was I created a piece of paper to go down in the background. And then I wanted to have a big title so that people knew what this was about. And when I was looking around, I looked around for some imagery online to help illustrate this. And I found this interesting little Unity guide here someone had put together to help people understand. You've got this idea of balance. So I looked for a piece of artwork that had strong visual balance. Emphasis. I found this piece that has unity but also is emphasizing something. Space. Use of space. How does this image use space? Visual economy is sometimes also referred to as simplicity. So sometimes just simplifying things can create unity. Contrast. I love this image. Love this artist too. Contrast between the black and the orange and yellows. Proportion, the proportion of this wave in contrast to the boat and the people in it. And then the last one here is movement, and how movement has been integrated into a piece of artwork. And then I did some cool, design work to kind of tie it all together. I layered different kinds of paper here. So in the end, it's this pretty heavy duty, cool trading card that can be used as a teaching tool. It's bigger than like a playing card, and helps illustrate some of these things. So that's what you guys are going to be doing. So what I'm looking for is this to have some kind of description that really clearly illustrates, and I even put that this stuff was out of the Elements and Principles Designed of this book here. And also, how are you really nicely putting this together so that it explains what your element or principle is. Now, some of these are going to be more, easier maybe to put together than others, but this is the visual challenge. This is what you're doing. So I'm looking for how you're solving this visual problem, really paying attention to composition. Remember, it's a teaching tool, and craftsmanship, okay? And making the connection between what you have here and how you're using it as a teaching tool. If you have any questions, just let me know. I've included in portfolios for people who are remote, different kinds of paper. Although you may want to use magazines or printed images to help you illustrate. I also gave you one of these cards as well. You have different colors paper and also scissors and glue in your portfolio. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do. If you have any questions, just email me. I'm totally here and I'm willing to help. These will be due by Friday, okay? By Friday. Can't wait to see them, guys.